What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate episode. Today's debate episode, we're going to be talking about Titanosaurus versus the Meg, which in the long way is called the Megalodon. So here's the plan, folks. We're going to go over the backstories of these two giant creatures and we're going to analyze them. And once we're done with that, we're going to put them up against each other in a death battle. So without further ado, let's begin with the backstory and analyzation of Titanosaurus. So, Titanosaurus is a massive aquatic creature that rules the seas, but is also able to walk offshore on the mainlands with the ability of being bipedal. So, the best way to explain it is this giant creature who kind of looks like a dinosaur but is also able to swim. His main area of life is in the water, but he can also walk on land. So he's able to use the best of both worlds, which is, I guess, the best way of putting it together. Now, the height of Titanosaurus is approximately 30 meters tall. However, he was taller in the game Godzilla Unleashed. We're going to stick with the film. So we're going to stick with 30 meters tall, which is his actual height in the film. Now, abilities, I'm going to do a quick skim. We're going to finish off Titanosaurus, and then we're going to come back to the abilities and do a deep analysis. But for now, it's just a quick skim. So, abilities goes as follows. Tail Gusts, physical attacks, and fast swimmer, and in them there's a bit more contact, so don't worry. Aggression level is high, territorial level is high, and the biome is Earth. Okay, now let's go back to the abilities and do a deep analysis. So, Tail Gusts is one of the most powerful abilities that Titanosaurus possesses, and that's why I want to go over it. So basically what he does is he has this fin that he can open up on the end of his tail, and he starts swinging his tail, and he can make massive wind gusts with his tail. And obviously he can use this on the mainland because it causes wind, but he can also use it underwater by causing huge waves in and under the water, right? So current in the water, because of these tail gusts, can be both used in the water and outside of the water, and can do a lot of damage to the opponents and damage to surrounding materials, especially buildings and all that stuff, right? Next we have physical attack. So not only the tail gusts, but physically Titanosaurus can fight. He can kick, he can punch, he can do tail whips, he can run, he can smash and ram into his opponents. He can bite his opponents and headbutt them. He's capable of doing all of that good stuff as well. He can basically do physical combat as well. And also, he's a very fast swimmer. In the water, he can swim faster than any physical boat or submarine ever created. He is very, very fast and very agile while swimming, that also combines with his physical attacks, making him a very deadly monster. Alright folks, that's basically all the abilities that he has for Titanosaurus. He has no other abilities. So, let's go down and talk about the Meg. So, the Meg, which is basically the Megalodon, is a group of super shark species that can grow to an immense size. They are the largest sharks known to the name of existence, and the most aggressive as well. Now, they are known to be extinct. However, in the film The Meg, we know that they're no longer extinct. So that is very interesting. A giant 20-meter shark, which is around, if we were to convert it to feet, is around, I believe, 70 feet, give or take. Now, abilities, doing a quick skim, and then we'll come back to it just the same way we did Titanosaurus. So abilities goes as follows. Mega-sized sharp teeth, fast swimmer, navigate through darkness, tail whip, and physical attacks. And obviously there is some inner context in some of these as well. Territorial level is maximum, aggression is maximum, biome is Earth, obviously specifically and only in the ocean, and the length is 21 meters. There we go. I guess 20 meters, 21 is the actual one. 21 meters, and which basically ends up being around 70 feet. Okay, so we were really close with that one. So let's go back to the abilities and let's do a deep analysis. So first we have the mega-sized sharp teeth. Now, we know that the Megalodon is known for having an enormous mouth that could swallow almost anything. Because of having an enormous mouth, he also has enormous teeth. And not only are they enormous teeth, they are very, very sharp. Crazy sharp. So because of having these giant-sized teeth, he can rip into the flesh of almost any opponent, making him a very, very deadly creature to his opponents. He's also a shark. He has all these different fins, especially he has really big fins as he's huge, making him a very fast swimmer. Now, swimming distance as in speed, comparing him to Titanosaurus is going to be very, very similar. But just because Titanosaurus does have 2 legs as he walks bipedally on the planet of the ground of the Earth, will obviously add more weight to that and will slow him down just a bit. So I believe, in my opinion, the Megalodon will be a bit more native, faster swimmer than Titanosaurus will. Just to put that out there. He can also, the Megalodon, navigate through darkness. He can see in the dark and navigate in the dark and attack in the dark, which makes him a silent and deadly killer in the ocean. Now, he also can do a tail whip. He has a massive tail and he can hit his opponents. And you can basically use this as an offensive and defensive ability and defend himself with his massive tail, which could rip into his opponent's flesh. And physical attacks basically goes not only a tail whip, but he can ram into his opponents by swimming really fast, biting them, and just doing body slams on them in the water. And basically that is going to sum up the Meg, known as the Megalodon. So we've gone over both of these kaijus. Now we're going to put them up against each other in a death battle. Now, what's interesting is how I do these debates is I do close range and far range. The reason why I do far range is because I try to see, and it's a very, very good way of testing the opponents out. We limit their abilities by distance and see if they can still win a battle. And usually, at least one kaiju wins in far distance. So, and obviously the vice versa, close distance. So, far distance, the rules are they have to be 700 meters apart. They cannot come closer to each other, meaning there is absolutely no physical contact. So because of that, we're going to see if any of these kaijus, and I think it's none, but we're going to go and see if any of these kaijus can actually defend themselves / attack their opponents in far distance. I don't think they can. Let's see if they're both going to forfeit this. So we'll go with Titanosaurus first. He has tail gusts. Tail gusts, potentially, we're going to say yes. He can use a tail gusts for far distance and cause whirlwinds and all that stuff, right? Physical attacks, no. Remember, there's absolutely no physical contact in far distance. And swimming, I mean, he can swim around as long as he absolutely does not have any physical contact with the opponent, right? So, tail gusts, okay? And the reason why I assume no is because it's not like, yeah, I mean, tail gusts it's okay, but it's not like an atomic breath or something that goes out of his body and comes back to him or something like that that causes specific damage to the opponent. Okay, let's go back to the Meg now, and let's see what he can do. Mega-sized sharp teeth obviously require physical contact to bite into his opponent, so that is not going to be able to be used. That is a big no. Can't be used. Fast swimmer, again, doesn't matter as long, he doesn't touch the opponent. That's not going to do any damage. It's against the rules, so no. Navigating through darkness, that's nothing to do with distance. Well, no. Nothing, I was going to make the argument that since they're far away, he's going to see clearer, and potentially, but it's not really the biggest thing right here. So we're going to say no to that. Tail whip, remember physical contact is a no, so no. Physical attacks, no. So in this case, Titanosaurus is technically the only one who can use some type of ability, which is a tail whip. Or not a tail whip, excuse me. It's a tail gust, but I mean, he can whip his tail in the water, you know what I mean. So, from that scenario, even with that, he can't really technically cause damage, we're going to assume because of the tail gusts, he's going to cause so much wind in the water, so much waves, I should say, but we could say either or, that he's going to cause the Meg to kind of lose his balance and hit his head on a rock and die. That's the only presumption here. And because of that, I'm left by no choice but to give the point to Titanosaurus, which is kind of interesting. It's the shortest, absolutely the most shortest far distance battle I've ever done in a debate video, because these guys don't have specific abilities that go out of their bodies, and it's quite interesting. But because of the whole tail of Titanosaurus, he ends up getting this, and he can win because of this, or at least win the far distance because of this. Now let's go to close distance. Face to face. This is where things get interesting. Titanosaurus is fast. Very, very fast. And there is absolutely no way. So I was thinking about this. What if Titanosaurus, because he can actually walk on two legs, right? I was about to say two hands. It's kind of interesting. What if he's able to take the Megalodon outside of the water and somehow, just in one way, pick him up and throw him out of the water? And my answer to that is going to be absolutely no. The Megalodon is just way too big for Titanosaurus to lift him up. Titanosaurus is only 30 meters tall, which is nowhere near double the size of the Meg. The Meg is something around 21 meters tall, so he's not even double the size of the Meg. So that's absolutely going to be a big no-no, and that can't be used. He cannot take him outside of the water, so that's going to be a big no. And so because of that, remember, the Meg is going to be absolutely fast in the water. Huge. He's going to be really fast in the water. And I believe, as I've said, faster, way faster than Titanosaurus himself. So because of this giant size of the Meg, I think he's not only going to be faster, he's going to have more physical weight to him. Because he's long. Of course, Titanosaurus is bigger, but the Meg is just going to be faster. So the point I'm trying to make is when he rams into Titanosaurus, the whole shape, because a shark is kind of shaped like a bullet, like a big submarine or like a big sniper bullet, right? And so when he rams into Titanosaurus, that's going to do a lot of damage, and also doing the tail whips. But not only that, the mouth of the Meg is just insanely huge, and I believe it's going to take 4 or even 3 bites, and he could put out Titanosaurus. He can rip his flesh to absolute pieces. So therefore, I believe the Meg is going to win in close distance and basically tie it to 1-1. And so we're going to go to overtime. And overtime is just purely looking at their abilities. So we'll start off with the Meg, and then we'll go to Titanosaurus. So the Meg has mega-sized sharp teeth. He's a fast swimmer. He can navigate through darkness. He has a tail whip and has physical attacks. Now, Titanosaurus, in this case, let's look at his abilities. He has tail gusts, physical attacks, and he's a fast swimmer. Now, obviously, he can walk on land as well. So, comparing the two opponents, I really like Titanosaurus that he can walk on 2 legs. But just going off of this own thing, the fact that the Meg, it's going to be really hard to lift him out of the ocean, specifically how fast he is and the massive jaws he has, I kind of like the abilities a little bit more with the Meg. So because of overtime, the Meg is going to win 2-1. Obviously, this is just my opinion. You can debate me in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great and wonderful day.